Hi everyone, wanted to do another one of my vinyl finds of all kinds videos. Different artists, different genres, different decades. To start with, I have a Julian Lennon album that's autographed, apparently. It's this album. It's The Secret Value of Daydreaming, which is good because I didn't have this album in any form. And I'm not really big on collecting autographs when I haven't seen this person sign it themselves. But this was only 25 bucks, so I took a chance on it. Plus it's a gold stamp promo, and you know, as I say, you take a chance if you don't see the person sign it. But I had no reason to suspect that this was not authentic. I mean, the album itself, I'll show you the autograph closer. It says, "To Barry and Andrea, happy 2nd anniversary, love, Julian Lennon." So it doesn't really fit me, but I really thought about it for a while. There's the signature, and I was interested the way that Julian signs it. Very much like his dad, John. It's a similar writing style. Hopefully that's coming out good enough. I thought I had this in my hand for a while, and I was like, I really couldn't come to terms with whether it was worth purchasing or not. And it was originally $30. They knocked it down to 25, and I said, come on, I mean, why not? If it's authentic, it's a good deal. So, plus, like I say, it was an album I didn't have. Now, I had recently talked to my nephew, and we were talking about Neil Young, and I recommended the Harvest album to him, which I didn't have yet. I told him that I wanted to get it in just perfect condition, and no sooner did I say that when I had found a copy here. This is a really nice minty copy of Harvest from Neil Young, and I waited a long time to find just the right copy. You know, this cover is always kind of subject to damage or dirt, and you know, opportunity knocked, and I was able to get it. Here's a really sharp looking copy of Blondie's first album. Really good shape. Another record that I was waiting for to get a decent copy of. I picked up Stevie Wonder's Greatest Hits Volume 2. This is on Tamla. It's got a lot of nice songs on it. It's got the shrink wrap. Here's another album with shrink wrap. Paul Simon, still crazy after all these years. A hype sticker. Okay, now the next album is an Elvis Presley album. It's an Elvis Presley album, very common, but I, again, was waiting for just the right copy. I wanted to try to find this with shrink wrap on it and hype stickers, and I found it not only that, but sealed as well, Moody Blue. It's a Moody Blue album, Elvis's last studio album, and it's sealed, never opened. And I don't think I'm ever going to open it, because I just want to keep it this way. I mean, you know, as nitpicky as I am, I'm not thrilled that this corner here has, you know, the punch-out bargain bin thing, but it's still nice. I don't think I'm gonna open it. I'll leave it in my collection like this. Now, I've never played that album in its entirety before, so that's why I picked this up to go with it. It was only a couple of bucks. This is a good playing copy of this, so I have the blue vinyl version of this that I can play. Okay, here's this is printed, made in the EEC. It's a Little Richard album. It says Little Richard Volume 2 on it. It says Ace Records. There was a collection in my store of a lot of 1950s odd albums. I mean, 1950s artists There's the Ace label. I say 1950s artists. The albums, I'm sure they were made in the 1990s, some of these, or 80s. They're not original 50s albums. But I picked up a few. Another one here is this one, The Crystal's Greatest Hits. This was from that collection, you know. Somebody brought in a lot of these odd foreign, I guess, 90s collections. This one says made in Italy, so this is Italian. And the label for this is Spectacular Sound. Now, this record in particular here, it says on it 1990s, so you know, you could tell this is later kinds of pressings. And this one is another in that series, I guess. This is 1991. This says made in Denmark, and it's the Cookies. Don't say nothing bad. Don't say nothing bad about the Cookies. I took a chance on these records because I like girl groups from this era, so I figure I may like them. And I mean, I know the Cookies do Chains, you know, the Carole King, Jerry Goffin song that the Beatles covered, and I have that on a 45, but I figured I'd take a chance here, you know, and see if I like the rest of the record. Okay, here's a special record that I wanted for a long time, and I could never find this out in the wild, so I broke down and finally ordered it on Amazon, and it's a really nice copy of it. I got a real good deal on it. It's a soundtrack album to the science fiction film starring Bruce Dern, Silent Running, and it's one I've wanted for a really long time, as I say, and I was really happy to finally get a hold of that. And it's in like brand new shape, no splits or anything like that. The record itself is in great shape. I played it all the way through. It's like almost new, good as new. The back, the only thing, if you want to nitpick, you know, there's a little bit of a chunk taken out of here. But, you know, for an album like this, this is on Decca Records. Really nice to have. Finally got it. Also, in that vein, from the soundtrack era, we have the Ten Commandments soundtrack. This is a gatefold. I don't think I'll bother opening it and showing the gatefold, but trust me, it is a gatefold. And the next one I'm going to open, this is also in the same vein as the album that I just showed. You want to talk about soundtrack albums to biblical movies, here's Ben-Hur. Now, I had Ben-Hur a couple of times. This one is in a box in really great shape. The record, when you open the box up, what's cool about it is the record is in there, and you take the record out, and then you have a book that sits in there, and not just any book. It's the story of the making of the film, but it's a hardcover book. So that's pretty cool. So this was only $5. All right, and last item I have for this video is a 45. It's Leslie Gore, the picture sleeve. 45 picture sleeve for She's a Fool. So I wanted to knock this video off. It's early in the morning, just really coming to my senses and waking up, but just was interested in making a video. So thanks a lot, everybody.